Hello and welcome to...
Don't do it yet.
Welcome to...
Thehayteamtv.
Today's episode is going to be slightly different. It's going to be about problems that we've been overcoming in the last few days. This being one of them. I've literally just come in the shed and you're having a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah.
So this is probably the opportune moment I shouldn't video, but we're going anyway. So there's what you just dropped on the floor because he's livid. So Az has got a problem with this hole lining up on this panel. We'll tell you why in a second. And I know I've had a shave. I had to have a shave because I had a mishap with the bonfire. But whilst he lines up with this second, we'll come back to it in a second. Finally, it's caught on.
It's just a panel. That's all it is, just a panel. I've done the hard job. This is the easy job.
But you're putting back on before we tell them what's going on?
Right, so I'm just putting back the oil filler pod. So put this back on, panels back on, and then we'll discuss what I'm actually doing.
Right, now with the fast tracks, this is a problem that might help a whole bunch of you find a solution faster than we found it, because we found it over time. And the fuel problem is a mix of two things. One being the fuel, but Az will go through that in a minute. Two, a problem on a filter and a tractor, which we were told didn't exist. It must have been on this end, but it wasn't. It's on this end. So you want to go through it?
Right, so as you already know, previous videos, Justin just said, we have fuel problems and we are forever changing our fuel filters. Now, we come across that there is actually a sock filter in the tank, which is on the end of the fuel sender. So strip that out, and there's a little, well, what I'll actually do is upload a photo now, so you'll see by the photo how it actually guns up, it actually is. But anyway, it's a sock filter on the end of your sender, and obviously that filters through up to, so you don't get any crap up into, you know, between your tank and your filters. So that was absolutely chock-a-block, and which I'm glad in a way, because I do feel that is not necessarily the main problem, because I do think it is a bit of both, because it is crap fuel, but it is one of the massive problems that we've had with the fast tracks, hence why we're changing the fuel filters more often than not, because it's not actually the fuel filter, it's actually the sock filter in the tank.
So any of you boys got the fast tracks that you're changing the front end filters, and
I'll go here first.
they do get mucked up a bit, don't they?
Yeah, but I would obviously.
We've started going here first.
I didn't film it because we filmed us replacing the filters many times on the channel. So last night I changed the two fuel filters on the front of the engine. This is all cleaned out today. You don't even have to buy a new sock filter. Just clean it out, put it in brake fluid, and blow it all over an airline. It's that simple, and it is a really easy job. It's just a little bit fiddly.
But this is the second time now we've ironed out the problem of doing the front end first, and then the back end. So next time this ever happens, we're going to start the back end, and if there's a problem, then go to the front end, because the filters at the front aren't cheap, are they? It's like what? Yeah, $250, something like that, maybe a bit less.
I don't honestly know.
I can't remember off my head right now.
But it's, you know, you shouldn't have to, regardless of whether the fuel or not, you shouldn't have to be changing the filters the amount of time we're changing anyway. It's ridiculous, and you can't keep throwing money at it. You just can't. There's got to be a problem somewhere. And, you know, we all know the fuel is crap, but there's a solution to that, and we'll come to that solution in a minute.
Also, to do this suction pipe, it's literally behind that panel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's behind the panel, and the fuel sender sits right down here behind the panel, and it is literally undo a big plastic. It's not even a nut really. It's just a, you know, whatever, threaded, whatever. Undo that, disconnect your two pipes, disconnect your fuel sender electric, and it is easy. A bit fiddly to get out mine. You have got to do it at different angles, but because this obviously isn't done on warranty, that is why we've done it ourselves, because obviously, you know, it's not JCB's fault that we have got crap fuel.
So basically it's a big plastic bung, I think is the word you're saying.
It's not even a bung, it's shredded.
It's shredded?
Yeah, it's shredded. It's just like, you know, it's all in the same fuel tank anyway. Every fuel tank's the same, yeah.
If you use the fast track, you'll find it. Now, we have a product. Now, Az and I have spoken to each other a lot on this, that we've had things sent to us and we've refused to film them. End of. We're not going to film anything or, you know, thrust things upon you lot unless we actually think they're worthwhile. So, because we've had a problem with the fuel, and part of the problem with the fuel is these days they mix biodiesel with normal diesel, which then creates a bug and like a waxy crap within the fuel.
So you'll see by the picture anyway, it's like a black, almost looks like carbon, but it's not.
So we'll show the picture again, you can see now. Right, so this can all be stopped by using this next product. So we have
we have got a selection of diesel bug detection and killers and improvements, really, to be honest with you. So we were approached by a company called Agri 16. They are based in Wales. They are massive in the marine industry and then come across to agriculture. They've been going around for about 15 years and they are experts in this kind of field. This was a too good opportunity to pass up because we have diesel bug problems. There's no denying this.
No.
We do. So what we're going to do now is, obviously, Justin's tractor got done not so long ago. Obviously, my tractor's been done today. So what we're going to go through now, go through a little bit what they're doing, what they are, and we're going to put them in the tank so you see them for yourself, and we're going to put them in the tractors, and hopefully we shan't have any more problems.
first we got the diesel injector cleaner, which is fairly self-explanatory, really.
Yeah, I don't really need to go much on this, to be quite honest with you. It goes into any vehicle, red or white. I mean, basically it cleans, it's a cleaner in the tank basically, so it cleans all your lines, no carbon, gets rid of all your carbon deposits into your injector, into your fuel lines, makes it easier, stops your vehicle from smoking, makes it easier to start, and I'm looking forward to using this one. I know it's different for us, we have got newer equipment, but we've got it, so we'll use it to see what it's like.
So next we have Agri 16 Diesel Red Enhancer and Red Diesel Premium.
So basically these are, by reading them, bearing in mind me and Justin are new to this, they are similar. So just by, it's all on the label, it prevents growth of the diesel bug, it combats the effect of using biodiesel and ultra low sulfur diesel, enhances the lubrication quality of the fuel, reduces emissions, improves fuel consumption, reduces fuel line and injector deposits to zero, suitable for all fuel types, and the main thing for us as well, because we run newer kit, it doesn't affect the manufacturer's warranty.
So any of you there with new gear that worried about what you're putting in your engine, doesn't affect manufacturer's warranty, which is very, very important on all new kit. Lastly but not least, this is actually the most important one out of the whole range. Adam,
this is the diesel bug killer. Now this is what we're after. This is what goes in the tank. So this prevents and eradicates the diesel bug. So it's broad spectrum biocide. It eliminates problems with blocked filters, which we have. Disinfects contaminated tanks, which we've got. Assists fuel stability, including heating systems. Does not affect the manufacturer's warranty yet again, which is a massive plus.
Yep.
So if, like you said, this is new to us, so we can't comment. We've done our research. The company is well known in this field. Like I said, they've been going now for 15 years, massive in the marine industry, and they've come over to Agri, and with the biodiesel anyway, there is a problem with it, especially the winter fuel coming through, because it is a waxy sort of fuel. So this is the main event. We're going to read up what we've got to put in the tank. I think it's 100 mil per 1,000 litres. So we've just got over 1,000 litres. We've just put just over 100 mil in, and it'd be nice to see the effects, say, in a couple months' time.
we will do a recap video on what we think of this.
We'll put the link and website address in the description below of these guys. Go on. At the moment, I'm speaking to a wonderful lady called Carla. She's great, really, really helpful. Any questions, just give her an email. They're on Instagram. We'll put their link up. Give them a buzz, because they're really, 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 really good to deal with.
We just made a little bit of a mistake.
Right, so by looking at the instructions, which we should have done first, but me and Justin don't do this kind of stuff, as you should know us by now. Right, so I'm just going to go through the instructions. So for regular preventative use, add at the rate of 100 ml per 2,000 litres of diesel fuel. So that's adding.
If you're on top of the problem,
on top of the problem.
If you're on top of the problem, haven't so much got a problem, that will keep the problem gone, like finito.
So
if you've got a problem,
yeah, like us. So for contamination, add 100 ml per 100 litres of fuel. So you just add direct in the tank before refueling to increase mixing of product.
Okay, so there you have it.
So we're going to work this out. We're going to see what we've got in the tank, work it out, and then we're going to pour the bad boy in.
So the amount of fuel that we've got in the tank,
we're going to be using the whole lot, because that's what we worked out to be. So, in we go. Right, that's that done.
now hopefully it works.
Fingers crossed.
Work. We're talking about a company here that's been doing this a long time, and when they are being part of agriculture, the marine world, and everything else, they've got to have something going that is working. Now, problem two. Should we go to problem two?
There's always a problem.
Right, there's three big problems. Problem two is the next one we've there's no we, Adam's been addressing. That is the quad bike. The quad bike has had a starting problem because, well, I'll get into dishonest sellers in a minute, but Adam?
Right, so basically, it's been hard starting, and I've been through this before. Everything was working as it should. Motor meter, all the voltages were as it should be. So that left me a bit stumped of why. So we tested the glow plugs, blah blah blah, tested the relay, that was all alright, which it was. So then you go back to basics, you go towards the fuel. So I got to the lift pump, realised the lift pump, someone's been in, messed around with the lift pump, and it was leaking oil and leaking fuel. So before we went any further, we had to bite the bullet, or Justin bit the bullet, and we ordered a new fuel pump. Fitted that, and nothing really changed. So, right, so back to square one again, start looking a little bit deeper. So, go backwards again, test the glow plugs again, and go back to the relay, sort some wiring out, because the wiring is everywhere on it. I don't know what's happened before, but wiring is everywhere. Someone's messed around with the wiring, so it leaves your job a little bit more harder. So anyway, to cut a long story short, because we could be here for a very long time, what we've actually narrowed it down to now is the actual glow plug relay itself. Like I said, I already tested this, and I had voltage, I had everything I should. But I've come back to it again, and I've actually got no switch live, switching over. The timer's working on it, so your 12 seconds from your actual timer is working to your glow plugs, but I've actually got no live feed. So I've got live feed from the bike, but no live feed switching over from the relay. So we've narrowed it down. What we're actually going to do, we're going to change the new glow plug relay, get a new one, and we're going to put new glow plugs in it, so that system is all done. And fingers crossed, we'll have a fully working quad bike again.
For me, I absolutely detest dishonest sellers. There's nothing worse. Would you agree, sir?
Yeah, to be quite honest, yes, you should be. But if there is a problem, just say.
Yeah.
Because at least you can pinpoint the problem anyway and where to look first.
Now you guys let us have a comment in the description below. If you're going to buy something, you're 90 to 95% sure you're going to buy it because you've driven there to see it, right? So it has to be an absolute pile of junk for you to drive away empty-handed. Come on, look. The chicken shed me and my sister's other half bought was in tatters. It was absolutely tatters, and we still bought it back because it was pretty much in the head that we're going to bring it back. Price might be different, but something like this, all that had to be said, because it was running when I got there, it looked absolutely immaculate, it looked brand new. When I brought it back, you went through all the bushes and stuff, there's a little bit of play in the UJ.
A little bit of play in the UJ, but nothing.
But otherwise, it was like...
And it is, you can't say, the
immaculate.
quad is immaculate, and it is.
But what wasn't told to me at the time of purchase was someone went in, took all electrics to pieces, trying to fix the problem that the bikes had, and basically didn't just do what Adam did, which is spoke directly to a dealer that know the problems inside out.
You know, sometimes it's best to seek advice. You know, I know a bit. I know quite a bit, but there's some things, you know, every day's a school day. Sometimes it's just better to go to the dealer who are dealing with these day in, day out, know the common problems, just give them a bell. It doesn't hurt to give them a ring.
So, like, Ads has then had to go in blind, looking for all the problems. Now, the fuel pump was shagged, we know that had to be replaced. But all the electrics, down around here, I'll just sort of show you, down around this zone here. Like
there's a wire here that goes into the glow plug reader. That's the actual timing. That's for the timer, that wire there. It was always a little bit like flickery. Well, that's because it's been pulled out and not in the actual loom correctly. And it's just little things like that. Well, you know, it's just not been well done.
But like, it's just a naughty thing, just not to say. Like, we had a problem, we tried to fix it.
And when you went and picked it up, it was running for you as well. So,
and it was running for me. So,
you know, if it's nice and warm, stuff like that, you're never going to know the problem when you go and pick it up anyway, because the engine's warm, the fuel's warm.
But if they told me, I would have probably, well, I would have still bought it because it looked like a good bike. What I may have just done was phone Ads up as a little bit of, right, they've done this, blah blah blah. Him go, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can go through that.
Happy.
Simple.
But
okay.
Anyway, here we are, but we will get there in the end.
We will get there in the end. Still a good bike, isn't it?
Brilliant bike. Once we get it started, you know, once we get it going.
Talk is hell. Right. Anyway, then that brings us on to
number three.
Oh, jump in there.
Do something, didn't I?
All right. So number 3 is, well, this I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. But we're not going to get into politics. Who did this? Who did that? Or whatever.
But it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
So this one got reversed into. You can tell the story because you were down there.
I'm not going to say what happened. This machine got reversed into something. Anyway, so we've done a little bit of damage here, which I will do eventually, but it's only cosmetic. So that doesn't matter. But what it did do, where it got tangled up, this come back and actually snapped the isolator off for the battery. So when it's running, it's going to stay running until you switch it off, Justin. Now, when it was switched off, we were in the middle of the yard, couldn't go anywhere because this was broke. So that was that. So what I actually have to do is, because it was all snapped off, I couldn't actually make anything up or anything like that because it's all gone. So we took this off, took the isolator all out, undid all the cables, disconnected it all, joined all the cables together to get the telehandler going. So did that, got it going, but it's all disconnected now because that isn't the best thing to do, because obviously we don't want it to catch fire. So got a new one on order. That'll be in a couple of days, but anything out in the yard and all that, we'll connect them up again and do what we've got to do and disconnect it, because it's not something I like to do because it's not right.
It's a bit risky.
Yeah.
And also on that, she's parked out here.
Yeah.
In good old damp Devon.
Just in case.
Just in case.
You never know. Stranger things have happened, Justin.
Yeah. So that's that. So that one came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know, as if I didn't have anything else to do that particular day.
Right. So that is the 3 things Ads has been on with. This is going to be the penultimate part at the end of our video. Yeah. If you haven't yet done so, please
subscribe.
Also give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see any more of us, you can find us on
Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.
But as always, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time.
See you on the next one.
Cheers.